Good morning. For those of you watching the recording, my name is Lisa Marcus, and I teach French and Women's and Gender Studies at Hood College. And this is my mini class as a preview of the first year seminar for the honors program in the fall of 2021 called Why Are We Here? Let me share that with you. Hang on. Here we go. So the FYS is called Why Are We Here? The Purpose of College. I forgot to press record when I started this session, so I am giving you the quick preview of what we've already done. When you hear good student, what comes to mind? And we did a word cloud about that. And now the students are in breakout rooms and they're going to come back in about 20 seconds. Talking about what should students do to succeed in high school. Okay. All right. And they're coming back right about now. Okay. So, doesn't matter which group goes first. Somebody volunteer? I need a reporter.
I'll go first.
Cool.
So me and my partner, we came up with studying, paying attention in class.
Yep.
Not being afraid to ask the teacher for help when you have a question.
Okay.
Not giving up.
Yep.
Working like outside of school and like studying outside of school.
And
then like trying new things.
Interesting. Try new things. Okay. So like risk taking.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Thank you, Andrea. And who was the reporter for the other group?
I was the reporter for the other group. Me and Stephanie came up with having a good relationship with your teachers, taking advantage of your opportunities, such as like study groups, like honor society and things like that. Maybe having friends in your class that you can study with. You guys can help each other out. Picking a schedule that's comfortable for you, such as like AP classes, honors, GT, college courses in high school, stuff like that.
Yep.
And being on time and not being absent, having a good attendance.
Okay, so good attendance and punctuality, right?
Yep.
I'm scribbling really fast here. It's not going to be very legible.
I should slow it down, my bad.
Whoops. Wait, hold on. And I got distracted. Good attendance instead of attention. Attendance. I can't write. And punctuality.
Yep.
Okay. Did I get everything?
Yeah.
Sort of. Okay. All right. So we have a bunch of tips here, right, for how to be a good student. Do we see any themes? I was writing too fast to think about it. Let me see. So studying, right? Several of you said that. Contacts in your classes. Asking for help. Okay, cool. All right, so we have some ideas. All right, now I have a 3-minute video for you. This is Michelle Obama speaking to a group of college graduates. And I'd like you to watch this and think about the question I'm going to ask you next, which is, how were Michelle Obama's tips on succeeding in life different or similar from our list of how to succeed in high school? So I want you to think about that. So is it the same set of skills that you need to succeed in high school and to succeed in life, according to Michelle Obama, or different? So 3 minutes. Bear with me. I know that's a lot. Want to make sure you can hear the video. So let me start it and check the...
Who are you going to be?
Everybody hear the video okay? Let me know if not.
Yeah, I could.
Good? Okay, thanks. Just, I always want to make sure.
And if you'll notice, I'm not asking what are you going to do, but who are you going to be? I'm asking you about how you plan to live your life every day. How are you going to respond when you don't get that job you had your heart set on? For all of you who are going to be teachers, what are you going to do if the students in your class next year just don't respond to your lessons? For all of you going into business, how will you react when your boss gives you a goal that feels way too high? See, these are the moments that define us. Not the day you get the promotion, not the day you win Teacher of the Year, but the times that force you to claw and scratch and fight just to get through the day. The moments when you get knocked down and you're wondering whether it's even worth it to get back up. See, those are the times when you've got to ask yourself, who am I going to be? And I want to be clear, this isn't just some vague platitude about building character. In recent years, we've actually been seeing a growing body of research that shows that skills like resilience and conscientiousness can be just as important to your success as your test scores or even your IQ. For instance, West Point cadets who scored high on things like grit and determination were more likely to complete basic training than those who ranked high on things like class rank, SAT scores, and physical fitness. So what we're seeing is that if you're willing to dig deep, if you're willing to pick yourself up when you fall, if you're willing to work and work until your weaknesses become your strengths, then you'll develop a set of skills that you can mold and apply to any situation you encounter, any job you might have, any crisis you might confront. But you gotta make that choice. And let me just share just a little secret before I end. As someone who has hired and managed hundreds of young people over the course of my career, whether it was during my time as a lawyer, as an administrator, as a university, a nonprofit manager, even now as First Lady, I have never once asked someone I was interviewing to explain a test score or a grade in a class. Never. I have never once made a hire just because someone went to an Ivy League school instead of a state school. Never. What I have looked for is what kind of person you are. Are you a hard worker? Are you reliable? Are you open to other viewpoints? Have you stepped outside of your own self-interest to serve others? Have you found a way to serve our country, whether in uniform or in your community? Again and again, I have seen that those are the qualities that I want on my team, because those are the qualities that move our businesses and schools and our entire country forward. And just understand this. Those are the qualities that you all already embody. They're the values you learned from your parents, from the communities you grew up in. And today, more than ever before, that's what the world needs.
Okay. So our discussion, how were those tips on succeeding in life different from our list of how to succeed in high school, and how were they similar? So which things crossed over and which things were completely different? And we're going to do groups of 2 again. I'll give you a little more time this time, about 5 minutes. I'm going to mix up the groups and do it randomly, so you may or may not end up with the same partner. We'll see. And the reporter is the person wearing socks, or if nobody's wearing socks, has the most pets. Okay. Everybody got the question? We good? I can stop sharing then. Okay, I'm going to mix up those groups, recreate groups. Okay, and 5 minutes this time. Okay, all right, so good luck. Come back with some ideas and we will see what you come up with. Okay. So let's see what you came up with. So who wants to start?
I can go first.
Okay, Zoe.
So Jamel and I worked together, and when it came to the similarities, pretty much our list was pretty similar to how Michelle Obama talked in her speech, and mainly focusing on your character and not giving up and working hard. Mm-hmm. Some of the differences was that she more talked about, like I said, your character, your personality, not necessarily focusing on your grades. And I feel that with, we feel that with on our list, we talk more about school itself, like studying, asking help from teachers, studying in a group, working with friends, things like that. So she was more about who you are as a person, your work ethic, how reliable you are, trying new things, seeing other viewpoints. And we were more based on just high school in its own.
Right. Yeah. So you were talking more about practical, like day-to-day things, maybe. Yeah. Okay, cool. Was that it?
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you. And how about the other group?
So yeah, we kind of did the same thing where we were talking more about grades, but we didn't focus solely on grades. We did focus on like other character building things, but she was more focused on character outside of school and after school once it's done. And when you're in like the workforce.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really the biggest difference.
Okay, cool. Excellent, y'all. All right. So going back to my PowerPoint here, here we go. So I only have 5 minutes left. So that was a tiny little preview of the kinds of things that we are going to do in the first year seminar for the honors program in the fall. So the idea is, okay, you're in college. Why? What's the point, right? What do you want to get out of this? We want you to be an active participant in your education, right? For example, in high school, often you do well by saying what the teacher wants to hear or by memorizing things and spitting them back at the teacher. In college, we want you to think critically, right? My favorite students are the ones who question what I say and say, are you really sure about that, Dr. Marcus? Is that right? I read this thing that said the opposite, and I don't know if that's true. So we want to encourage you to think independently and think critically and take responsibility for your own education. So that's the idea behind what you just saw a preview of. So the team, my dream team for the FYS, the first year seminar for the honors program in the fall, is these 4 folks, including me. So Kate Luce teaches English, Noelle Versosa teaches music, William Allen teaches philosophy, and I teach French, and SWAG, which is our awesome acronym for Studies on Women and Gender. So all of us care very deeply about social justice issues, and we'll be talking about social justice in and linking that to the purpose of a college education, that you can become a leader, not only in your own education, but in the world outside once you leave Hood. So that's the idea. If you have any questions, we have a couple of minutes for that. And here's my email if questions come up later, or if you have just general questions about Hood or about the honors program, happy to answer those as well, either right now, and I can stay as long as you want, or by email later on. So I'm going to leave that email. Whoops, I stopped sharing. I didn't mean to do that. I will put my email in the chat. It's easier. Questions, anybody? Typing my email. There we go.
Dr. Marcus, I heard that some of the honors courses can like replace other classes that you take at Hood. Yes. What are some of those classes that honor courses can replace?
Excellent question. So I don't know how much you've heard yet about our core curriculum, but I have to kind of talk about that to answer the question. So the Hood core curriculum is what we call our general education requirements, right? Everybody has to take science, everybody has to take math, that kind of thing. So 3 of the 4, actually all 4 of the first honors courses that you'll take, you'll start with the honors FYS, which is what I was talking about. That fulfills the FYS requirement. Everybody needs one of those. And then the next 3 courses, honors 102, honors 201, honors 202, you can use those as wildcards to replace any section of the methods of inquiry part of the core that you want to. Let me see if I can pull up quickly the core curriculum cheat sheet. There it is. Okay, hold on. So I just had it open because I was advising this week. There we go. And I will show you what I mean. It's a lot easier to see it visually.
Thank you.
Sure. So this is I call it the cheat sheet. It's a checklist for all the categories of the core curriculum at Hood. This center area here is called the methods of inquiry, and there are 6 sections in that. You see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can use those 3 wildcards in the honors program to replace any of these except for the lab science. So you could not take literature, for example, or you could not take history, or you could not take philosophy, and replace those with those honors courses.
Oh, okay. And you said those 4 courses are just the first year of the honors program?
The first 2 years.
First 2 years? Okay, perfect.
Yep. Each semester you take 1 honors course. So you start with the FYS, then it's honors 102, honors 201 in the fall of second year, and 202 in the spring.
Perfect. Thank you.
No problem. Other questions? About Hood in general, the honors program? We've been throwing way too much information at you, I'm guessing. Yeah. Anything else I can help y'all with today? I am at your disposal. Today or later. Okay, y'all all zoomed out already? It's all good. I really, really hope that I will see you all in person. Please, please. Right now, that's the plan. Unless things change drastically with the pandemic, the plan is to be in person, face-to-face classes in the fall. So hopefully I will see you then. Feel free to stick around if you have questions, or feel free to email me. But it was great to see you this morning, or at least to hear you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for coming.